Hi, Bubby. Go see Mama. That's a good boy. Oh, my feet are wet. What's up, guys? Man, the weather's not being very nice to me. Cold water in my foot. Not good. Anyway, winter time is upon us. So it's getting cold out and cold and rainy. And I know you guys will disagree because it's not really cold here. But it is rainy and, you know, such is life. So I got a few things going today. I'm going to try and get the sleeper done. And then I bought some contact cement from a hardware store, and we are going to contact cement those rubber straps in for the fuel tank. So the polisher guy is going to be polishing the tanks today, and well, while he's doing that, we're going to be in here finishing up this metal work. I won't bore you with all the gory details, but what's happening today is I'm going to be taking these panels off and making that trim happen up there. And but before I do that, I'm going to cut this piece and get that figured out. And I'm going to, so this piece I'll get cut, and then also I'll cut the filler diller that goes in between these two. So yeah, I think I'll do that first. I think I'll mark and cut this, and then I'll mark and cut that. Those will be done, and then I'll do the same thing up there. I'll mark and cut the top inner, and I'll mark and cut the top outer, and then we'll get all that laid out. And then what? Then we'll double check it, make sure it fits, and then we'll get a table out or some cardboard, and we'll primer both sides of the inner panel, and we'll primer the inside of the outer panel, and then we'll start gluing and hucking, and we'll get this thing done. I think I want to weld the outer skin. I'm not sure if I'm going to. Initially, I'm going to set it up with an 1/8 inch gap and just let sealer squish out of the gap. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet. But let's get those pieces cut and make sure they're going to work. And then we'll take this down and we'll trim the, because the radius isn't quite right. We'll trim that radius and make that right. And we'll trim the radius on the top of these inner panels. I don't know if I marked them. I don't think they marked. So I think I'm going to have to, mark that as well. Yeah. Let me just make sure that's, I think it's the same both directions. Yeah, it's the same both directions. So I just have to cut. I'll just make one of them the top and one of them the bottom, and we'll cut it to match. So let's do that. We'll do that first. So we'll cut this length. This piece here is this piece here, and it'll just be this piece. And that's pretty simple. It just needs to have a 1/4 inch taken off of it, I think. We'll just grab a quick measurement. And I've got got 33 3/4, 38 3/4. So if I want an 1/8 on each side, 33 or 38 3/4. So we're going to take it down to 38 1/2, and that'll give us an 1/8 on each side. Do we want an 1/8 or do we want a 1/16 on each side? We'll do it 1/16 on each side. We'll take an 1/8 inch off of this. Yeah. So we're going to put our rubber up here. We're going to not cut into the truck anymore. That was a dick move on my part. Let me get the board up and get after cutting that. All right. Right now it's 38 3/4 is what that measurement is. Okay. That was the easy part. Hard part's going to be tearing the whole thing. Super square. All right. So this should technically, this should give us a 1/16 on each side. Yep. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now what I have to do is I have to measure this part, and what I'm going to do is this ring is going to snap in half on the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to any port in storm, you know what I mean? All right, now we'll go and make sure this fits. And you don't need to see me cut each piece. You don't need to see me cut each piece. It's just nice to show you some of the stuff that I do. Well, this is a little tall. It's not horrible. We can smooth it down. I probably should have done a better job making it a little smaller, but it's okay. Okay, now we'll do the top. See, and I think I'm just going to measure the top. I'm going to break that ring. It's already pretty fragile. Yeah, end up breaking that little weld on the bottom. Yeah, it sucks. I should have taken an extra 1/8 off of that. I may try and get an 1/8 off of it. Boy, that's going to be tough. We'll see. We might take an 1/8 off it. Okay, and then 2 inch, 2 3/4, and 2 inch, right? Yeah, 2 inch, and 2 3/4. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I got those pieces all cut. So I'm going to take the clecos out of this and yep, take that piece down and cut that taper. Sucks because it's a lot of work, clecoing in and out and all that shit. But then I will cleco this ring back in after I take the external metal off, and then I will glue and clamp the inner metal to it, because I'm pretty sure how that's going to go. I regret doing the thicker aluminum. I shouldn't have. I should have just went with the same thickness that the sleeper was, but I went a little bit more. And I'm clecoing the ring back in just because I don't need it. I don't need the outside metal on to do the inside metal. And so I cleco this on here, and that holds it where it needs to be, and then I can glue and clamp the inside metal all on. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. We'll do one side, and then we'll go to do the other side. I wish these radiuses, if these radiuses would have been cut properly, and they should have been for the amount of money I spent on them, but if they would have been cut properly, then I wouldn't have to be trimming this off, and my life would be a lot easier than it is currently. Because I would have just had to put those pieces in, all of them, and clamp them, and then drill them, and would have been finished. But instead, I have to do all this crap. Leave this one tight. This one. And not only do I have to do this, but then I have to do it on the inner piece too, and that double sucks. Okay, and then I'll clean that up. Okay. Okay, so this should sit like right there. Yep. Yep, I think it's good. Yeah. Oh, I gotta do that. I knocked that corner out of there. I might not even have to do that. Got a kitty corner this corner off because there's some weld turd in the side. Made a little boo-boo slice on my finger, which kind of sucks a little bit, but it's all right. Yeah, that works. And we could technically glue this in. I do want to move this ring in, and I do want to move this ring in and grind the floor, but I can put this outside stuff all on. Okay. I think I will unclico that and clean that floor up right quick. All right, guys, so I got all of the pieces all made and cut and trimmed, and they're over there primered on the inside. I put primer on this. There wasn't primer on there before. I don't know if it was like had a cold galvanize on it or something, but there was some sort of something on there, and then there was a glue on there. So we're gonna let this primer set up really good before we glue it on, but we're going to we are going to put the inside piece on. Now again, the reason why we're doing an inside piece is because this isn't skin, this is an extruded aluminum piece, and it's an 1/8 inch thick. And so the ring went on the inside of this extruded piece, which leaves an 1/8 inch gap. So we're putting a filler strip of 1/8 inch all the way around. We're gluing it to the ring. Then we're gonna put another 1/8 inch piece, which this was only 14 gauge. And we're going with, or this was only 16 gauge, and we're going with 1/8 inch, which is overkill to the max, and I'm regretting doing it at this point, but you know, it's fine. We're gonna glue on the inner one, and then we're gonna glue up the outer one, and we'll start clecoing the outer one together. Yeah, we'll glue it up. We'll glue it up real good, and then we'll put the outer pieces on and cleco them, and we'll do the both sides, and then we'll glue up the center, and we'll clamp it, and we'll drill it. We're not worried about these existing holes. We're going to offset those holes by half. So we'll do one in the corner here, and then one. Anyways, we'll scratch a line. We'll go in between those, and we'll blind rivet that to this, and then we will go through and drill through both the inner and the outer, and we'll use huck bolts all across the bottom, huck bolts all across the sides, and huck bolts all across the top. So the only place we'll have blind rivets is in the very lower and the very upper. We'll have a row of blinds across the top, and then below that, 2 inches or 1.5 inches, we'll have a row of hucks. It'll be super duper strong, stronger than it needs to be, but I was kind of worried about taking some of this structure away, and with the extra thick skin, hopefully the strength will be there. You guys probably going to come up with, you know, 5 or 6 better ways I could have done it. I was told by a Marmon guy that there's no way that this ring will fit this cab without major work, and he's absolutely right. It was major work. I'm not a sheet metal guy. I'm more of a hack, but you know, it's pretty cool to be gaining ground on this thing. I'm going to have this completely done and hucked up today, and maybe, just maybe, I'll pull this truck out and set the sleeper tomorrow and put the boot in. I mean, that would be super cool to have the sleeper mounted, bolted down, and the new sleeper boot in. Now, the sleeper is going to have to come back off in order to do the paint, but we're not ready for that yet anyways, and I want this closed up. So we'll probably wait to paint it until everything else on the truck is 100% done. So we'll probably get the sleeper mounted, and yeah, we'll probably get the sleeper mounted and the boot in tomorrow. That would be cool, because then I could say I finished that job on my 2 weeks home. And 2 weeks isn't a long time when you're waiting on parts and waiting on help to get your metal made. So it'd be super cool to have that done. So that's the goal. I wasn't going to work tomorrow, but I think Jessica will understand if I do work tomorrow, but when I leave Saturday for work, her sleeper's on her truck, you know. She's getting excited because this stuff is starting to come along, and you know, I don't blame her, because it is super exciting. So yeah, anyways, we're just waiting for that paint to dry, and we'll start the gluing and gluing and clamping. We'll put a bead of glue on here, and we'll set this piece in, and we'll clamp it up. We'll do the same thing with the other side. Get that inside glued to the ring, and then we'll do the middle piece up and down and clamp that up, and then we can bring over the outer piece and do a nice bead of glue on that, and we'll huck one side in, and then we'll go over there and glue it up and huck that side in, and then it'll just be a matter of gluing and hucking the 2 bottom pieces, and then this puppy's ready. So we'll bring you back. All right, so we got these glued on, and they're currently just being clamped. We're going to leave it clamped for a half hour or so. We're going to try and do that top one. I'm out of clamps, but we're going to try and grab up some more spring clamps and try and get that top one glued in. And then once they've all been sitting for a half hour and we can take those back off, we'll glue up the whole perimeter and we'll start slapping pieces on. Like we'll glue this all up and we'll cleco it all in. And then we'll glue that all up and cleco it in. Then we'll glue this all up and drill and cleco it in. Actually, we'll probably drill this bottom one first. We'll clamp it on, and yeah, we'll do these and drill these and cleco that all in, and maybe even huck it. And then do that one and huck that. And then it's just a matter of, yeah. Just a matter of doing those top pieces, top and bottom pieces. That's what we did on the other one. We hucked the ring all in except for the top and bottom, and then I did the top and bottom pieces. So that's what we'll do. We'll let this sit, then we'll do this side, and we'll get it hucked in. And we'll goop it up good, and then goop will spurt out of here, but we'll make a nice row on the bottom and on the top. And then we'll do a nice row on here and on here. And then we'll push this piece on and cleco it up, or put it on, cleco it up, drill these bottom ones, then start hucking it on. And we can actually huck all this and then drill this afterwards. All right, so we got that glue. We're gonna take this piece, we're going to put it up on there, and we're going to cleco it in. All right. It's a lot of glue, and we're going to get a cleco ready to go. Just gonna start hooking it, because if I don't, I'm gonna be. Hey, oh, because there's one in there. Okay. Now. I'm not gonna be able to do those that close to the bottom. Okay. Boy, a lot of work. Nice. Okay, then we got to do those around the corner up there and these down here. Let me see what I can do as far as drilling these. Yeah, right there. Ooh. Not really sure about that one, but right there. I think I'll put one right above that. Ouch. Now we gotta put one here, one here. Okay. You know, if I do that one more time today, I might likely get pissed off. Just saying. Ouch. Okay. And we just got to do one right here. Oh, man, that's bogus right there. Whoa. This is something under my drill. Okay guys, so here's the deal. We are out of blind rivets again. It's amazing how fast you can go through 100 rivets, but we're out of blinds, so we didn't get to finish the top, and we're not going to be able to finish the bottom. The blinds are the important part of the top and bottom, so we're just going to go ahead and cinch up these dozen hucks. All right, well, wow, so close to being at goal. We're literally about 20 hooks away from being finished. Now I think I can drill that bottom piece and I can drill that bottom piece and put it back in. You know, as far as it goes. I don't know if I will, but I could very well just drill this piece and call it done. I could drill that bottom and huck it, and I may do that. And then all I'll have to do is come in and throw some blind rivets in the top up here, and then drill and put blind rivets in the bottom, and that would be that. I just don't know. I might. What time is it getting to be? I don't really want to work on trucks tomorrow. It's 5 o'clock right now. Well, there you go, fellas. It was not without challenge. That's for sure. But it is done. And yeah, we're going to I'm going to primer it before I go to inside for tonight, and then tomorrow maybe, and I say maybe tomorrow I will put the sleeper on. Now I have to drill these drain holes yet. I'm not really 100% sure how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to guess, I guess. Trim this seam sealer up, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of time cleaning this, but we'll trim the excess seam sealer off, and then we'll tape up the lines with some masking tape, and we'll put a bead of seam sealer on it, and then peel the tape off, and we'll let that dry. And I'm probably not going to be able to get that done today, much as I would like to. You got to wait 30 minutes after you do the seam sealer, and then you can paint it. And so what I want to do is get all this stuff off, and then clean the seam sealer off everywhere, and then we'll get some painter's tape. We'll painter's tape here and along here, and we'll seam sealer all of that, and then peel the tape off and let it dry, and then shoot this with some primer. And the only reason why we're priming it right now is because it could be 3 or 4 months before we paint it. So I want to get it primed with some etching primer, and I've got some. So I'll get it primed up on the outside, and then maybe just shoot it with some black, just to seal that primer, just temporarily. And then when we take it to get painted, well, you know. So I'm just going to get some more lacquer thinner and get after it. You can shut it off.